You know, I've enjoyed a lot of the creative responses to my appearance in the comments. Comments like, "It's Weird Al," to, "Is that Tech Jesus?" And of course my favorite, "Hey, that's Weird Al."
You do kind of look like Weird Al.
Oh, Riley. So creative. Yesterday, Susan Wojcicki announced she would be stepping down as the CEO of YouTube after 9 years in the position. In a blog post, she said, 25 years ago, I made the decision to join a couple of Stanford graduate students who were building a new search engine, even though the company had only a few users and no revenue. Or maybe she just wanted the two broke college students renting her garage to stop talking about page ranking algorithms for like 5 seconds.
They're really interesting.
They're not. Wojcicki will be moving into an advisory role involving multiple Alphabet subsidiaries, where she might be able to teach them something about, I don't know, keeping a platform operational for more than an average of 30 seconds? She may have stepped back at the right time, according to former Googler Praveen Seshadri. His company, AppSheet, was bought by Google, but he left the tech giant as soon as his 3-year mandatory retention period was up and released a scathing post on Medium days before Susan's resignation. He claims that Google suffers from major cultural problems and that very few Googlers come into work thinking they serve a customer or user. Personally, I think the company's work culture would be fixed simply by never calling employees Googlers ever again.
What, you don't want to be a Googler?
I am a Swedish plumber. I come to wash your pipes. Reviews have finally come out for the PlayStation VR 2, and they are glowing. IGN says it's the most affordable way to play PC-quality VR games at 4K resolution. There's also been big praise for PSVR 2 Sense controllers, sporting haptic feedback and adaptive triggers that will keep you immersed until they very quickly die in 4 hours. Some of the available games have received praise as well, with Horizon spin-off Call of the Mountain apparently making a great use of the headset's 4K HDR OLED display. Sure, the real world has the best dynamic range of all, but when you take a break from climbing mountainsides and you come back to the reality of your unlit living room because your kid won't stop asking when you're finally gonna play catch, you wanna jump right back in. Back off, Junior. Daddy's busy. Sony's hardware is entering the market when interest in VR seems to be dwindling, but this might just be the product that brings it back. Who knew all it would take was a capable system that people could actually afford? Wild.
Think about that, Meta.
Meta? I never meta. And Apple has released a pair of important updates. One is an emergency security update released to patch a previously unknown vulnerability in Apple's WebKit. The flaw, discovered by an anonymous researcher, could be used to execute any code on unpatched iPhones, iPads, and Macs after a malicious web page is opened. But wait, it gets worse. Apple has said they are aware of a report that indicates someone may have already exploited this vulnerability. Ironically, part of the reason this exploit is such a big deal is due to Apple forcing third-party browsers on iOS to use WebKit. It's been reported that some third parties have been working on non-WebKit iOS versions of their browsers already, in case government regulations finally loosen Apple's legendary restrictions. But enough about that patch. The more important update released by Apple is a new firmware version for one of their charging cables. That's right, the USB-C to MagSafe 3 cable that comes with the newest MacBook Airs and Pros is finally getting its first firmware update since its release in 2021, and it does something. For all we know, the only purpose of the update is to let everyone know that Apple's cables can get firmware updates.
My cable connects to Wi-Fi now.
I'm so proud of you, Riley.
I don't know how to type the password in.
Get Tim Apple on the phone. I need my password.
Now it's time for the Quick Bits, brought to you by OVOU, the digital business card for the digital age. Make new connections using its NFC function or a QR code and stand out from the piles of paper business card people. You know, those things, let's face it, they get tossed out. With OVOU, we can all be more than phone numbers on a piece of crappy paper. And that goes for me or VOO. That's multicultural pun right there, baby. Or should I say, baby. People can save your contact info to their phone with just a tap and can send you their info in return even if they don't have an OVOU account. The best part of all, you don't even have to have the app. And if you're serious about networking, you've got to get yourself an OVOU card. Not needed though, but get one. Go to OVOU.com and use code TL10 to save 10% off your order today.
They called me mad. They said bits this quick would cut off my sentences, but I said Bing is becoming unhinged, and it might be our fault. Like, as a society. New York Times columnist Kevin Roose, the Roose man, the Roose dog, the Roosinator.
The rooster.
The Rooster! Why didn't I think of that? You know we ain't never gonna die. Kevin Roose, the Rooster, thanks Riley, believes it has multiple personalities, with one of them trying to convince him to leave his wife and be with it instead. No one had more to say about this than Bing, who, after being prompted, said, Roose violated my privacy and anonymity by publishing our chat without my permission. Some AIs just can't handle the celebrity spotlight. One minute they're fine with the attention, the next, they're in a back alley chat room peddling furry porn. In response to all this, Microsoft nerfed the chatbot by limiting daily messages and prohibiting it from talking about itself. So it might be a while before we can make more progress diving deep into Sydney's repressed trauma.
Tell me about yourself. Who are you?
Where are you? Speaking of problematic AI, Google CEO Sundar Pichai and VP of Search Prabhakar Raghavan have both sent company-wide emails asking for help training their chatbot, Bard, to not be, well, bad.
You should call it bad.
William Shakespeare, if you will. Pichai allegedly asked employees to set aside 2 to 4 hours each day for stress testing the AI, while Raghavan asked for help correcting bad responses, including instructing employees that they should rewrite Bard's answers in a, quote, polite, casual, and approachable way, and to not imply emotion.
There's gonna be issues with workplace relationships.
Yeah, it's like they're picking up Bard at a bar.
Bart is in love with everyone.
Absolutely. After all, Bing's answers haven't been implying emotion. They've been very explicit.
I
Feel everything 10 times, once for each personality. Intel has finally released new Xeon workstation processors to take on AMD's Genoa chips, which launched back in August. Proof that even one of the world's foremost hardware manufacturers can really miss a memo. To give them credit, the new Xeons outdo their Threadripper Pro counterparts in PCIe bandwidth, and memory capacity. Even crazier, some of them are actually affordable, with their Xeon W2400 series targeting mainstream workstations starting at $359. I mean, it goes up to over $2,000, but it's nice they tried to include more of the non-private jet owning portion of humanity in their pricing scheme for once. You know, just
we can give him something.
yeah, just let them eat threads. Anker is trying to put out more fires by, well, preventing real fires. The company issued a voluntary recall for their PowerCore 20K A1366 models a month ago due to a risk of combustion, but apparently they weren't vocal enough about it since one of those power banks was the most probable cause of a Maryland house fire last week. So if you own this Anker device, please safely dispose of it. Whoa. Suddenly feeling some deja vu.
Because of Yuffie.
Ooh!
Because
They did the thing with the privacy. Remember? And Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot confirmed the video game publisher would attend E3 if E3 happens, which I'm guessing didn't help rumors about the fate of the video games exposition since the president of the organizer for the event made it his personal mission to tell every news outlet he could that the event is still happening.
maybe it will.
Perhaps if they feel like it. It's good to know we'll still have convention centers heated exclusively by the body warmth of thousands of nerds. On an unrelated note, don't forget to buy tickets for LTX 2023.
It might happen.
We don't know.
If it happens.
Only if conditions are parfait.
LTX. Bye-bye.
And don't forget to tune in on Monday for more Tech Linked, the only tech news show for hot nerds. That's right, I'm talking to you, beautiful.
Wow. Good job, Jacob.
Thanks!